Hello and welcome to day one of our Yoga Foundations 14-day challenge. My name is Julie and I am a yoga teacher here at Totally Holistic Health. So what we're going to do in the next 14 days is really just to give you an overview of yoga, just to give you a few sort of challenges, I suppose, just to sort of work your way through sort of different practices. They're not going to be very long, probably about sort of 15-20 minutes at the very most, just to just have a little bit of a challenge to you to see if you can do a little bit of a practice every day. On the first challenge day, I thought it'd be really nice and easy with you. We're going to just do working with the neck and your shoulders. Obviously, you will need a yoga mat if you've got one. Also, you don't really need many props with this one. If you've got a yoga brick, which is something along those lines, obviously it would be useful to have one handy just in case you need it. If you don't have a yoga brick, that's absolutely fine. A blanket or something like that is absolutely fine. It's just really something to give you a little bit of support if you do need it. So we're going to just get ourselves nice and comfortable. So if you can get yourself onto your mat, cross legs is preferable, but it's not essential. You can have the legs out in front of you if that feels more comfortable. We're going to take a couple of minutes just to allow ourselves just to check into our bodies. So if you can just draw those shoulders down your back a little bit, just try to imagine you've got your head stacked over your heart, over your pelvis. You've got a nice long line. So you've got a lovely long front body, a lovely long back body. Just closing those eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or just softening the gaze down towards the floor. We're just trying to spend a couple of moments with the breath, just breathing in and out, just naturally. No forced breath, no trying to change how you're breathing. Your body breathes absolutely fine on its own. So as you are breathing gently in and out, it's quite nice just to notice where you are actually drawing your attention to that breath. It's quite nice to notice if you're aware of the belly filling with air, or you're feeling the attention is more in the chest and the lungs, or you might find you're more aware of the air going in and out of your nose. We normally tend to breathe in and out through the nose with yoga, but obviously if you're a bit bunged up, it's absolutely fine to breathe through the mouth. The breath's really nice. It just calms the body down, just allows you to just centre yourself a little bit, allow yourself to become a little bit more quiet and still. Keeping the eyes shut if that feels okay for you. We're just going to allow the chin just to drop down towards your chest. So what we're trying to do here is feel a little bit of length in the back of your spine. So we should be really working now. You can possibly feel those little bones in the back of your neck. Just having a little bit of a gentle stretch. We're not forcing the head down or anything like that. We're just allowing that head to become really heavy. Just make sure the shoulders stay down the back as well. So we're not trying to draw the shoulders up towards your ears. We're just trying to keep them nice and low. Just breathing into the back of that neck if it feels really tight. And then let's slowly roll that right ear over towards the right shoulder. So you can open the eyes now if that feels okay for you, or you can keep them closed. So what we're trying to look for here is a little bit of a stretch here in the left side of your neck. So, if it feels a little bit tight, again, we're not trying to force that ear down towards that shoulder, but also not trying to bring the shoulder up towards that ear either. We're trying to give ourselves a little bit of space. And it's quite nice just to slowly tilt the chin up towards the ceiling and then down towards the floor. Again, just sort of noticing any areas that feel a little bit tight. You might find you've got a little bit of a ooch area as you're just moving that head. So it's quite nice just to maybe hold that spot where it feels a little bit uncomfortable. You can see if you can breathe into it. So just imagine that breath, just filling that area, slowly releasing those muscles. And then let's just gently draw that chin down towards your chest again, so make sure the shoulders stay down your back. And then let's just tilt the left ear over to that left shoulder. So again, the second side, so again, just make sure the shoulders are nice and low. A lot of people tend to find the shoulders come up here, so just try to drop them down. And again, just see if you can just tilt that chin up towards the ceiling or down towards the floor, just trying to find any ooch points. Feel a little bit tight. And if you can, just sort of hold in that head in that particular sort of spot, and just see if you can breathe into it. So just really use that breath, just draw the attention into that area of your neck or shoulders that feels a little bit tight. And then just roll that chin all the way down towards your chest again, really heavy. So again, just shoulders down your back, give yourself a nice little bit of an open chest. If you can draw the shoulders sort of back a little bit more. We're going to bring the head up, and we're going to sort of interlock the hands just behind your back. So we're just sort of putting the fingers, hips interlocking, and we're just going to bring the palms together. And just see if you can pull those fingertips down towards your bottom. So what we're trying to do is just open up your chest a little bit. So you imagine trying to get a little pencil between your shoulder blades. Again, keeping the breath nice and steady. And let's release those arms. We're going to bring them nice and wide, palms facing forward. So if you can, maybe again see if you can draw the shoulders sort of back a little bit, or the arms back a little bit, just trying to bring those shoulder blades together. We're going to give ourselves a nice big hug. So slowly we're crossing the arms. Now I've got my left arm over my right, so you have to remember which way you're crossing yours. It might be different from this. So again, it's nice just to grab hold of your shoulder blades, just sort of give yourself a nice big hug. And again, here it's nice just to drop the head down towards that chest again. And then slowly releasing that head back up to centre. We're going to sort of keep those elbows just nestled nicely into each other's creases there. I'm going to bring the backs of your hands together. So if that feels really uncomfortable, if your shoulders are particularly tight, again, just keep that lovely little nice big hug. This is called eagle arm, so you might find that the backs of your palms can come together. If you're lucky, you might be able to get the fronts of your palms together. So again, this is a little bit more of a stronger stretch in the shoulders, and what you can do, if this feels okay here, you've got the option of just keeping the elbows there, or you can slowly raise those elbows up towards the ceiling. And the same can be done if you've chosen the crossed arms position. You can still raise those elbows up. It's also quite nice just to raise the gaze up towards those fingertips as well. So again, very gentle stretch. Just watch your breath as well. And then slowly releasing those arms back down. We're going to give ourselves a nice big hug. So just remembering which way we crossed our arms the first time. So again, bring the shoulder blades back a little bit more if you want to. Crossing the arms the second side. So I'll bring my right over my left. That's what I remembered there. So again, just give yourself a nice big hug. So again, keeping that breath nice and steady. If you find if your breath comes a little bit short, you're probably overstretching. So again, you've got the same option here. You can either keep your arms like this, and you probably find one side feels a little bit different from the other. So again, you might want to try the sort of eagle arms option. So again, if you keep the elbow creases just sitting nicely there, again, bringing the backs of your hands or the palms of your hands together. And again, you can either stay here or you can raise those elbows up. So again, it's all personal preference, what feels right for you. And you might find if you practice this a few more times, if you're a bit tight in the shoulders, you probably find that it might actually feel a little easier. This is perfect if you're sat at a desk, actually, it's really nice. Slowly allowing those arms to come back down, bringing those arms nice, again, just rolling those shoulders, get that movement in there. So we're going to bring the hands into an interlock in front of us now and push the palms away. So as you're doing that, we're going to just drop the head down between your shoulders or your arms. So again, almost like pulling the belly away as well, so you're curving your spine. So again, this is a really nice, imagine the shoulder blades slowly sliding away from each other. And we're going to slowly come up into a nice upright position, so keeping the hands into that interlock. Slowly going to allow ourselves to come nice and straight. So if you have got issues with your shoulders, again, it's also nice just to make sure you keep those elbows bent, so you're not putting too much strain on the shoulders. So this is option one, or you can reach up towards the ceiling if that feels okay. And very gently, we're going to twist around to the left. Let's release those hands. Bringing your right hand onto that left knee, the left hand behind, just easing those shoulder blades round. The main thing is really more of a shoulder stretch and a belly twist, so don't worry too much about that head, or you can look over that left shoulder if you want to. Gently coming back to centre, interlock the hands again, push those palms away, dropping the head down, just pulling the belly back towards your spine. Slowly straightening up, so again, the option of bending the elbows, or being nice and tall, slowly twisting round to the right. Let's bring your left hand onto your right knee, and then again your right hand behind you, and just slowly twisting that chest round. slowly back to centre. Okay, so we're going to come onto our hands and knees now. So if you've got issues with your knees, again, you can use your blanket to pop that underneath your knees, or equally you can just fold your mat up so you've got a little bit of extra padding, so you've got a nice bit of sort of 3 levels there. So we're going to bring the hands underneath your shoulders. It's good to make sure that you really spread those fingertips out. Make sure your bottom's over your knees. We'll do a little bit of cat-cows here. Again, really nice to get the spine moving. So next, make sure the arms are nice and strong, really pushing away from the floor. We're going to drop the belly down towards the floor, bring the head up. Nice stretch in the front of your body and pushing away from the floor. Drop the head down between your arms as you're really pushing your back towards the ceiling. Then the opposite way again, if you want to bring the breath in, it's quite nice to breathe in as your belly comes down and breathing out as you push away from the floor. So a few of these, I think it's quite nice to explore this. And then slowly coming into a nice neutral spine. Okay, I was fine with this next one. We're going to bring the knees a little bit wider, it just makes it a bit easier. Okay, so we're going to come into something called the thread the needle. So this is where it's useful to have a brick handy or a blanket if you need it. So we're going to make sure that your right hand comes underneath your head, but we're going to just slowly move it slightly forward towards the short side of your mat. And we're going to do rotation round to the left. So if you've got issues with your shoulders again, it's quite nice just to bring your hand onto your hip. Just rotate your chest round towards the opposite way. And again, you can bring that arm up if that feels okay. I'm going to get that left arm, I'm going to bend your right elbow just so that we can get your left ear onto the floor. Now if you can't get onto the floor again, you can use your blanket just to rest your head on, or if you've got your block or your brick, again it's quite nice just to bring your head onto there so you're not putting too much weight through that neck. So your shoulder really takes most of the weight of that head, so you're not putting too much strain on that neck. So with this right arm here, it's quite nice to stretch it out to get a lovely stretch on the right side of your body. And also you can walk it a little bit over to the left side if you want to rotate the chest around a little bit more. Nice, a bit stronger in the shoulders, so it may not suit you. And then slowly we're going to unravel, bring those hands back underneath your shoulders. And we're going to bring the knees back just for a couple of seconds. We're going to just move those hips from side to side. It's quite nice just to, like a cat wagging its tail. It's also quite nice too, if you want to, as your hips move over to the left, just see if you can look over your right shoulder towards your feet. And the same on the other side, so just looking over your left shoulder as your bottom goes to the right. I'm going to do a few more of those just to get that spine moving. Again, you're working the shoulders a little bit as well. And we're going to come back to neutral. So make sure your knees are nice and wide. Bring your left hand just underneath your head, just moving it forward to the short side of your mat. Rotating that right arm or shoulder round to the right. So again, if that right arm feels iffy, just bring it onto your hip. We're going to bring that right arm underneath your body. We're going to bend your left elbow. And again, just bring your right ear onto the floor. And again, if you need padding like your blanket or a block, that's absolutely fine. So weight goes into the shoulder rather than the side of your head and to your neck. So you can also reach forward with that left arm. A nice stretch on the right side, or you can just slowly walk that left hand over to the right side to rotate that chest a little bit more. Just breathing into those lovely ribs being nice and stretched out. And slowly rotating back to centre. Okay, so we're going to bring your knees just back underneath your hips. We're going to come into a really nice puppy pose, which is a lovely stretch in the front body. So if you do have issues with your shoulders, it's good to bring your arms a little bit wider. We're going to slowly bring the chest down towards the floor. So again, it's a really nice, gentle back bend. So if you can bring the head onto the floor again, you can use your brick if that feels a little bit more comfortable, or your blanket just to rest your forehead on. If that's too strong on the shoulders, the other option you've got is just to bend your elbows and just rest your head onto those forearms. But what we're trying to do here is just lower the chest down a little bit more towards the floor. And gently, let's just walk ourselves back. Slowly coming back onto all fours. Then we're going to come onto our bottoms again. So you get the option of, again, crossing those legs if that feels comfortable for you, or having the legs stretched out in front of you. We're just going to do a few shoulder rolls just to finish off this practice. Just take a few moments. Again, nice just to breathe in and out, closing those eyes. Again, bring the awareness into those shoulders and that neck. See if you can just notice the difference, see how that feels. Bring your hands into your heart centre into Anjali Mudra. We're going to lower the head down towards those fingertips. I just want to say thank you very much for joining me in this practice today. If you've got any comments, it'd be lovely to hear from you. Just maybe comment beneath, and I will see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.